But mothers are human. Humans are the most disgusting scourge this earth has ever seen. Is it possible that that lady is reveling in the attention and doesn't really give a shit that her son is dead? It's possible. But shit just don't seem right. Why are you out there wrapped up in a blanket with crocodile tears talking about your son who's not even cold yet?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Oliver Mack, the right-winged angel, and I have a very, very special guest today, Jericho Green. What's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for having me, bruh. I'm telling you right now, right off the top, you're a great Instagram follow. If you guys aren't there, you need to be. Follow this man on Instagram.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, man. So let's get right into it. Like, I really want to kind of just let the audience get to know a little bit about you. I know they see you on Instagram. I mean, I see you on YouTube, and they see your content. But do they really know how Jericho Green got started? How this whole thing kind of took shape? So why don't you let everybody know how you started in this YouTube game?
It was 3 years ago, 3 years and some change, I think in the summer of 2018. Being in California, being in the thick of the liberal cesspool factory, whatever you want to call it, porta potty, I'm always surrounded by people with far left opinions, especially when I used to work at a radio station between 2005 and 2009. Or 2004, 2009. And so, of course, entertainment, people are super far left. So I got it from them. Then you start getting it more from all different outlets, not like it is now where it's entertainment, academics, government. It wasn't so crazy, but being out here, that's always been kind of the temperature of things. So, I took it, and I remember getting into a debate with my program director. He was like the boss of the station that I worked for. We had some time to kill before a meeting. And so I was always, taking 3 or 4 people on at one time. I was used to that. There's no one more better prepared than a Black conservative. Believe that.
That's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
That's the truth. So, I'm used to taking these fools on because it wasn't hard. One pill, 2 layers, they start insulting, get out of here. You're done. You're out of thoughts. So I just remember having that one time that we're really getting heated. He's like, man, he's like, you're an idiot. I was like, man, don't call me no idiot. What are you talking about? Because I don't think like you, and my hands don't feel like Charmin toilet paper. Like, get out of my face with that crap. Anyway, so things like that. And I remember one day I'm in my driveway cleaning my truck. So I'm listening. My kids are home, so I don't listen to the music that I usually listen to. So I was listening to ESPN, and Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith were on there. And they both said some stupid things, but Max Kellerman more than Stephen A. Smith. And so Max Kellerman starts going in about how hard it is for Black quarterbacks in the NFL, and Warren Moon, somebody threw a soda on him one time or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically whining. Even in Warren Moon's day, these people were paid a handsome fee to do what they do. And it made me think about my mom. She used to work in a convalescent home, and she would take us there sometimes after school to be with the old people, the ones who didn't have nobody with them.
Yeah.
Side note, it always reminded me of that scene from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, where they're all like touching him because they want him to save the kids. It was always like that when we were trying to leave. But anyway, so I remember her telling me a story where she took care of one of the original Pittsburgh Steelers. And at the time, this man was like 90 years old, and this is like back in the late 80s, early 90s. And he's telling her how they used to play for dinner. These men had jobs in the off season. I don't even think you could call it an off season. It was just work. We play football for a while. We go back to work. So these men were playing for meals. Fast forward to me listening to Max Kellerman talk about how hard it is for a Black quarterback in the NFL when league minimum, 600,000, 700,000?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, that's falling on deaf ears. I'm not trying to hear anybody complaining, playing a sport and that kind of money. So, I thought of some things I wanted to say, and I knew that, they don't read the comment section, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. But I wanted to say something, and nobody was saying things the way I wanted them said. I heard people with the same message, but it wasn't packaged, and it just wasn't the right words. So I was like, I'll do it, So I picked up my phone. I had started a YouTube account, because like if you go on my about on my YouTube page, it'll say it started in 2014, but I didn't post a video until July of 2018. So I had a YouTube account. I was like, what am I going to call it? Jericho Green. My two favorite action movies as a kid were Action Jackson and The Last Dragon. And the lead character's name from Action Jackson was Jericho Jackson. The lead character's name from Last Dragon was Leroy Green. There you go. So I was like, man, I'll just, say what I say. And I wasn't thinking about, no subscribers or nothing. I was just like, man, I'm so tired of hearing this garbage. I'm so tired of hearing this crap, because there's too many people out there who may not have experiences in life to combat this nonsense. And they really think that we're just a bunch of over emotional crybabies. And no matter what you give us, no matter how you try to appease us, we're never happy. And I felt, it just pissed me off. So I was like, here's what I think. Boom. And then, hit the fast forward button. I'm here with Oliver and Matt.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Great story. Great story. Now, have you always been a conservative, or did you develop conservative views over time?
You know what? Fortunately, I never needed a red pill moment. My parents, both military. My mom, I think she did like 10 years. My dad did like 23 years. Plenty of structure, plenty of discipline, plenty of, go hand me that belt, whatever. It was a wrap. Of course, I had a good childhood and all that stuff, but there wasn't a lot of room for error. My parents, they didn't allow me to, and more importantly, they didn't. I didn't hear that victim mentality coming from them. Right. And when we would get together with family members they would talk it down. They would not let them speak, but they'd be like, what are you talking about? We have the same upbringing. We came from the same area. What are you talking about? Don't blame, no mythical white man or, who's, I don't know what they're doing, because all I saw from my parents was they own their home. They own more than one. My mom worked at the DMV. She was in the medical field. She, one time, one of her closet rods broke because she had too many clothes on it. So my dad, he had owned businesses. He was a world-class chef in Carmel. He babysat John Wayne's daughter and hung out with Shirley Temple in the kitchen. I saw nothing but hard work, getting what you want. My parents, they made a clear distinction between Black folks and the N-words. Okay. They were a separate sect of our community. They were to be outcast and admonished and scorned, whatever you want to say. Right. That wasn't a cool word. That wasn't a cool kind of person. My parents didn't use that word. So, and when they did, they were describing a certain type of individual. Right. So that's why I think that's so stupid. What do you mean? How are you going to take that word? Oh, we made it a term of endearment. It's a disgusting word. That has disgusting origins. Why? But anyway, no, I never had a need for that quote unquote red pill moment, because my parents let me know from the jump, if you succeed, that's your fault. If you fail, that's your fault. Do it right the first time. All those things your parents beat into your head and think you never hung on to, but then it ends up shaping the kind of person you are. So all credit goes to my folks, man. They just never allowed any room for that.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing, though, because I definitely did not grow up in that type of environment. My parents, they did instill hard work and that type of thing into me and my sister. But once they got older, like their liberal tendencies started to take shape. Like they started to support the Black Lives Matter movement and different things like that. My dad would always talk about this victim type mentality. So I definitely didn't grow up the way that you did. I mean, I was Black, so I thought, well, I'm supposed to be a Democrat. I'm not supposed to vote Republicans. Republicans are the racists. I didn't know what a conservative was, but I just knew conservatives were not Black people. So I definitely, understand where you're coming from in terms of, you not growing up in that environment. And I know you can appreciate that. You didn't really have to go through the things that some other Black conservatives go through, where they have to deal with, some people that I was around growing up, they were definitely liberal. So when I did have my red pill moment, I lost a lot of friends. So did you ever have to experience anything like that? I know you're in California, so I know you probably are around some liberals.
Oh man. Yeah, man, I'm swimming in them daily. Some of the people I work with, the area I work in, man, I'm around not everybody. I wouldn't even say the majority, but there's definitely a strong showing of these kind of people, like the kind of people you see on TikTok, the kind of people who use
those people
pronouns. Like,
yes,
these people are real. They're alive, and I hope they're mostly concentrated in here and they don't poison, the rest of the country. But these are the kind of things that I'm dealing with, and again, making a lot of friends in the entertainment industry, being in radio, a lot of them, and I hear this through people that I'm still cool with, oh, what's wrong with him? Why does he think that way? And blah, blah, blah. And even back then when I was debating these fools, I would hear certain things from them, but I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have a debate and you want to allow these political opinions to affect how you feel about me and you want to cut me out of your life, man, get those scissors and get to cutting. I don't care. I might cut you out first. You know what I mean? So, I've experienced it, but whatever, man. If you're gonna fall off like that, if you're gonna stop messing with me over something like that, she's more of a friend of my wife, but she went on this anti-Trump supporter rant when the election was going on. It was so stupid. If you support Trump in any way, you're dead to me and all this stuff. Number one, hey, your dad should have hugged you more, and I'm sorry he didn't. All right, but you acting like people are reading this and just, you're gonna cut me off. It's just crazy, man. But she went on this whole anti-Trump thing, and she's literally pink hair, screw the system, but she's typing all this from her, her Apple computer or her iPhone 52. So they ain't for real. I mean, if those kind of people want to cut me off, man, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm not worried about it either. I mean, it did hurt a little bit at first.
We're human.
Yeah. But when you finally realize, hey, like, we're on the right side of history, 20 years from now, we're going to look back at this moment and they're going to have to admit that they were wrong, right? They're going to have to admit that their choice to vote for Joe Biden, their choice to not back Trump was a big mistake. And I think they, like all the liberals, will have to admit that at some point. It's probably going to be a long time from now, but they're going to have to admit that at some point, that we were right, that we were on the right side of history, that we were doing the right thing. And it wasn't because we were racist or we supported white supremacy or anything like that. It's because our values aligned with this particular political party, this particular candidate, and that's why we did it. So I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm hopefully it will happen sooner than later, but I think there's a lot of buyer's remorse when it comes to Joe Biden right now. So speaking of that, how do you feel about everything that's been going on? I mean, we got the vaccine mandates. We got all this stuff that happened in Afghanistan. How are you feeling about President Joe Biden right now?
Man, well, I'm going to use that word president very loosely.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I'm being politically correct.
Because president implies leadership, top of the heat, sharp, some of those. First of all, with the vaccine mandates and the mask mandates, it depends on which Biden you're listening to. If you're listening to the Biden from a few months ago, we would never do that. We can't do that. You listen to the Biden from the campaign trail, same thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. We would never do that. Pelosi on down. But if you listen to them a week ago or a couple weeks ago, hey, employers, if you got X amount of employees, you better do this. Our patients are wearing thin.
Yep.
That's something you tell your kid when something's about to happen.
Right.
That's letting them know if you continue down this path, there are going to be consequences.
Yep.
Punishment of some kind. But it implies that this is going to come to an end. Yep. So, that kind of language, I don't like it. There are so many things in our society where it's left up to you to make the decision. They still sell cigarettes. They still sell alcohol. And if you want to put those numbers, you want to put those numbers up against, you know, the sweet and sour sniffles numbers.
Yeah.
They pale in comparison because all the amount of deaths over 600,000 or something like that, those aren't going to be happening every year. But the numbers from the things that I mentioned, those happen every year, all the time, every day. They're killing people, they're infecting people, all kinds of things. They don't mention that. And also, they're only giving you one option. It's not be healthy, go outside. We've partnered with Under Armour. We're going to deliver this to every American. You know, the whole Eat Healthy campaign, none of that. There's
none of that.
Nothing. It's take this in your arm, or you're evil, you hate your fellow citizens, you're draconian, you're a conspiracy theorist, all this other stuff. And all we're saying is vegetables, fruit, sunlight,
exercise.
But it's all things we can do on our own. I think that's where they have a problem with it, because we can walk outside by ourselves, we can grab some produce by ourselves, but I just don't like it, man. Afghanistan, what a kick in the nuts to everybody who's been over there, everybody who made it back, who did make it back, the shockwave that sends out to their family and friends who've lost people, the parents, the siblings, the best friends, the coworkers, all the people's lives that all these people touched was all for naught, because we could have pulled out of Afghanistan and left all the weapons behind 19 years ago.
Yeah.
But you're telling me, and we shouldn't have had such a big footprint, because we weren't fighting the country of Afghanistan. We were fighting Al-Qaeda and ISIS at some point. So I think that could have been special ops and could have got him with minimal footprint, minimal loss of life, whatever. But I don't think there's a person in this country with half a brain who has a problem with pulling out. Again, it's how it was done. Because it's not just like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
How you say it, yeah.
So it's not that we left, it's how it was done. It was stupid. It was spontaneous. It was just dumb. It was evil. And I've even seen some things about the dogs they left there that were helping. They were the service dogs that were, sniffing these people out, grabbing, Al-Qaeda by the arm, dragging them outside, all that stuff. They were left there. And just the images of people, of our enemy wearing our uniforms does not feel right. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't look right.
Sickening.
They just didn't have the bodies to be wearing that. Because the people who wore that were special operators. They go through a certain regimen to keep their body a certain level, in a certain level of fitness, and they look right in those uniforms. Those dudes did not look right. Standing on our Hummers, it's like watching another kid play with your toys. Like that was wrong. That was un-American. That was stupid. That was foolish. That was just a knee-jerk reaction to somehow, I don't know, garner more support or etch his name in history somehow. But it's just a shame, man. It really is. And what's going on at the border. And again, if you're going to listen to the Biden and company from 2009, we need borders. They're taking our jobs. They're coming up here committing crimes. Crossing the border is a crime. Tough on the border. Fast forward to now, no borders, free healthcare for everybody. Come up here.
Let them all in.
Anybody who says the contrary is racist. This is the American way. We're supposed to help these people. We have so much abundance. We owe these people. So when you echo that, when you stand from the highest mountaintop and you send that message out, well, what do you think's going to happen? Because everybody in the world,
everybody's going to come.
They're not going to say, no, that's not right. We need to stand in line. We need to do this correctly. Why? When you can just step over into this line and it's a turnstile into America. You mean to tell me if you're a woman, you just got to come over here and say, I'm pregnant. All right. No pregnancy test, no swabbing, no nothing. Come on in. And when we release you into the interior of the United States of America, the greatest country on earth, we need you to come back here in 2 to 3 years so we can possibly kick you out. You going to show up? Man, please.
And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. So we have the Haitian immigrants that came. So they let 12,000 of
At
them
least.
into the country. Yeah, at least 12,000 of them into the country. And now we have 4,000 more on the way to the border.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically an open invitation for these people to just come and enter our country, come and just enjoy the fruits of our labor, the Americans' labor. So they just come in and they just get to bask in the glory of what the United States of America is, everything that our ancestors, fought to make. These people can come from their countries and come over here and just get to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to wait in line. They don't have to do anything. Just, yeah, we're gonna come through the border. We're gonna make this trek. And here's the thing: we don't know if these people are coming on airplanes financed by some Democrats. Like, that's just what it seems like. Like, this may not be these people. Just, how did they get from Haiti all the way over here? Like, how is that even happening? How is that even possible?
Well, they've been in South America. Adds another layer of BS to what they're saying. They've been in South America. These Haitians have been in South America since 2010, when they had that really bad earthquake when between 1 and 300,000 people were killed.
Yeah.
So they've been there. So all of this, they're coming because they're fleeing Haiti and the presidential assassination. They weren't even in Haiti when the dude got assassinated.
Wow.
They've been there since 2010. So all this coming for a better life crap, I don't want to hear it, because if that was the case, they would have came straight up here when they got here. And again, with this asylum seeker crap, the law says you're supposed to seek asylum in the first country you come to, not the best, the first. So they should have sought asylum in Brazil or whatever country they were dropped off in. But no, again, you stand on that mountaintop and you ring the biggest dinner bell in the world.
Yep.
That's going to reverberate around the world. And if you're hungry, here they come. So this sympathy that people are throwing on these Haitians that are here illegally is wrong, because they're not just poor little Haitians displaced by a hurricane. They've been down there for a decade. They're only coming up here because we're inviting them up here. We're pulling them up here. We're a magnet and they're little pieces of metal. So of course, they're going to come up here. And this is just the Haitians. I read something about some Colombians. They're on their way. It's about to be United Nations at the border. If you can get there, come on in. And all this stuff, you were speaking about the American dream and the fruits of our labor. In order to get to socialism, you got to go through capitalism. So we have to build these fat reserves to supply all these people when they come up here. But we didn't gain those reserves for that. We did it for us. Imagine if we sealed our border and all those resources were given to illegals, were given to us.
Right.
The ones who deserve it. And it's not that Americans have a problem with immigrants. It's this pesky little word called illegal that we just can't seem to shake. And if you have this word in front of immigrant, we can't have that. You're spitting in the face of everybody who's waiting in line, all the people who are too far away to do what you're doing, all the people that waited at Ellis Island. And at Ellis Island, you were getting checked. You got a bump somewhere, your finances ain't right, you got some mental issues in your medical history. Out of here. We want the best and the brightest. And you can make the terms of entry into your establishment. You know, businesses require ID if they serve alcohol, dress codes, things of that nature. There's a restaurant here on the wharf that says no kids. So you set the terms of entry. And if those are our terms, meet them and you will be welcome with open arms. I think we almost admire people who study and pay and wait to come here and take part. It makes us happy. Yeah. You went through all that to be a part of this family. Right. Man, get over here. Let me give you a hug. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw a party for you. You jumped through all those hoops, went through all that red tape to be a part of this. Man, you better get over here. You're just as American as I am.
Yep, they earned it.
If you leapfrog these people and you cut in front of them, let you be at the DMV on your lunch hour and somebody cuts in front of you in line. It's over. We're going to need security. There's a problem. I don't got time for this. I've been here for 30 minutes. I only have 20 left. You know what I mean? So the same mentality, when you leapfrog people like that, that's not right. That's spitting in their face, and that's spitting in my face. because I trust my government to watch my back, to watch my six when I sleep
Yeah.
and not allow people to invade my country. And
Right.
potentially, these people don't cross this imaginary line and just all of a sudden, hey, look, American beliefs, gimme, gimme, gimme. American culture, no. The age of consent in Mexico is 12. So they cross that line and all of a sudden, all right, it's 18. I think not.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I posted a story and it was about a little girl. I believe she was 12. And her mom basically was okay with her dating this like 24-year-old man. And he actually got the girl pregnant. And the mom threw a baby shower because, like you said, the age of consent in Mexico is 12. So they come over here with that same type of mentality. They think that stuff is okay. Mom didn't have a problem with it. The guy took the little girl to the hospital, was like, "Oh, why are you arresting me? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just here for my girlfriend." Like, they don't understand our rules and regulations because they're not assimilating. And then that's what we do these days. Like, we don't even, I remember Barack Obama said this a long time ago when he was president. He talked about people coming here and speaking English. But if Biden was to get up, or if Trump would have said something like that, oh, well, when people come to this country, they should learn how to speak English. He would have been called a xenophobe, a racist, or whatever. So it's just that, we want people to come to this country. It's fine that people come to this country if you do it the right way. They say we are a nation of immigrants. Yes, I understand that, but we want people to do it the right way. So I wanted to kind of, well, not really switch gears, but this is kind of along the lines. We're talking about the Haitians. So I know there were some photos released and people started getting very upset. Now, I posted these photos and I hope I didn't spark this myself, because I just posed the question how we had these people, these border patrol riding around on horseback. And then you had the pictures of them with the Haitian immigrants. They were trying to grab the Haitian immigrants. And I kind of mentioned like, hey, this is what's going on with Biden. If this was under Trump, we would have had all this outrage. Well, I spoke too soon, because we ended up having all this outrage about these pictures with the border patrol on horseback and how they said that this was racist. But the mainstream media, you know how they lie. So they wanted to say that the border patrol was whipping the Haitian immigrants. So they wanted to kind of say that this was some kind of slavery imagery and stuff like that they're only doing this because the people were Black. And then Joe Biden comes out and says that these people, what did he say? They should serve consequences or whatever. There should be consequences for their actions or whatever. The thing about Joe Biden, like, we had these instances with police officer shootings. And instead of him actually doing the research and saying, well, it looks like this was justified, or let's wait until more information comes out about these shootings, he automatically jumped on, no, these officers are wrong. So it seems like the same situation where he doesn't want to even investigate these photos with these Border Patrol agents. He just wants to automatically say, hey, if it's a white person doing anything that seems negative to a Black person, it's automatically racist. And I can't stand that. We have a president of the United States that cannot look at things objectively. He just automatically assumes if it's a white person doing anything to a Black person, it's racist. So I wanted you to kind of speak on that a little bit about the photos, the imagery, and what's going on with that.
I think Biden, he's just taken a page out of Obama's book, because if you remember that Harvard professor who showed up on his porch or in his house, he forgot his keys. So he's basically looking for a way to break into his own house, which we've all done. But let's be real. If you're a Harvard professor, you live in a nice neighborhood. So in this nice neighborhood, if they see somebody, give a damn what color you are. If they see you looking like you're about to break into somebody's house, they're going to call the police. Right. So the police show up, he gets mouthy, he gets arrested. Obama comes out, and instead of saying the same things you were saying, let's wait till more information comes out. Let's get a little more info about this. Let's not jump to conclusions. He says the police acted stupidly. So that does a few things. Same thing with Biden and the Border Patrol agents. As the leader, you should definitely try to bring sense to situations like this. A sense of let's focus on the facts. Let's not get emotional. Let's see what comes out. If it turns out this is the truth, they're going to feel the full weight of the judicial system. But if not, that's what it is. It's nothing. But yeah, he, of course, because racism is pretty much all they have. So they can't let any of these situations go to waste. They don't want somebody to get on it first and then, well, why didn't you say something first? You're a ist, a phobe, or whatever. But it does something to those people. It gives them a feeling that they're not supported. And you couple that with these quislings that are probably in their chain of command who are going to bow and they're all the BLM and we don't want to be called this and that. So that gives you a sense of I'm not supported. So I'm out here on eggshells with these illegals trying to come in here, which can get you hurt. It's like playing sports. If you half step, you can hurt yourself. You got to play full speed. So these people can't play full speed because they're not supported. They're worrying about the trouble they're going to get into and how they're going to handle this person instead of watching their back. Next thing you know, they picked up a rock and smacked them upside the head. So he should have been smart about it, and he should have waited to get all the information. Because if you take that picture and you go around it in 360, you can clearly see that it's a rein for the horse, because that's how you control horses. It's not Mr. Ed, you can't talk to him. Fast, slow, stop, walk, run, left, right. That's what the reins are for. They're connected to a bit in the horse's mouth that pulls its head where you want it to go. So to think, number one, that we have whips in our arsenal for what, I'm not sure why they would have those. But in order for somebody to use a whip on horseback, it takes a lot of training. I'm not sure how much money they're going to spend on that type of training to make all these dudes horseback whip experts. But that is just stupid. And then especially under the scrutiny these people are under, you think they're going to grab their whips? Let's see. They're dark. We got horses. Let's take the whips. That won't be controversial at all. But then again, if that speaks to my point, if they were even thinking like that, it shouldn't be like, it should be like, yo, we got a problem, let's go. Let's grab our equipment, let's go. Not what are they going to think, how are they going to perceive this? Because these dudes are screwed. Why are they under investigation? If you look at the live footage, they're corralling these people. They go right, the horse goes right. They go left, the horse goes left. They're corralling them. They're not traumatizing them. And they interviewed the dude who took the infamous picture, and he said, we didn't see no whipping. Those were reins. That's the dude who captured the image. He was there. Side note, what was that takeout these dudes were holding? Because they didn't drop it. They didn't throw it or nothing. They didn't. They had like a bag with some takeout. I don't know what that restaurant was. But anyway, if you talk to the people who are there, they say, man, this is a bunch of crap. But again, I mean, you got that image, couple that plus add a little, lacking in the brain department. Then you have Maxine Waters out here talking about this is worse. She said it's worse than slavery. So what we went through for 400 years,
this is worse.
All of that. Rosa Parks, those poor little girls who were killed in that church bombing, all those people who were attacked by the police, the people who did the lunch sit-ins, the Freedom Riders, Martin Luther King, MLK, Medgar Evers. All that is dwarfed by 10 minutes of that's it. So this with some horses is worse than 400 years. So BLM, Congressional Black Caucus, which her stupid ass is a part of. Did you guys hear what she just said? They're so quick to jump on the next racist hot topic that they just compared this to some people who came up here on purpose, who were just blocked to slavery. No, not even comparing to it. It's worse. Worse.
Yeah, just think about it. They actually said that voting ID laws are worse than Jim Crow. Remember they said that? Yeah, so I don't know. Why do black people keep buying this? I'm trying to understand, because it's like, eventually we have to understand, or the majority of us have to understand, because I know you and I understand, but they're selling us something. Like, these people are con artists, and they're trying to sell us on the fact that they believe that, or they want us to believe that racism is running rampant, it's worse than Jim Crow, it's worse than slavery, and all that. And anybody with two brain cells should be able to see this. It's not worse than any of that. Like, we actually have it really good in this country, like better than a lot of countries around the world. Could be the best country in the world for Black people, but we continue to be bought on this idea that racism is just this major driving force behind the oppression of Black people in America. What do you say about that?
I mean, are they even selling it anymore? Do they have to sell it?
Do they don't have to sell it?
Do they have to come up with a sales pitch anymore? Yeah. It's like twirling a basketball on your finger. Once you get it going, all you got to do is occasionally go like this to make sure it keeps spinning. That's it. So this is every 4 years. That's what they do. And we spin for the next 4 years. We start to slow down a little bit. There you go. And we're back at it. We'll take it from here. Set it and forget it. You give me the tools, take the father out of the home, violence, oversaturation of estrogen. I got this. I can whip something up with this. So I don't think they're not even selling it anymore. They don't have to. We keep buying it generation after generation. And like a lot of society's ills, and people say it's not that simple. Yeah, it is. Comes back to the father, because your father is going to give you an example of what you can be. Your father is going to show you the head of the household. He's going to show you what it means to work. He's going to give you some discipline. He's going to show you how to check your emotions. So if you're standing in line somewhere and somebody backs up and scuffs your J's and your homeboys go, ooh, you're not going to kill him after school, right? Yeah. He's going to give you that thing that these kids are out in the streets looking for. These over-emotional boys are looking for. Your dad will give you that. So, and he's also going to give you the tools. And it's not perfect. Just because you have your dad in the home, it's not perfect, but it's your best shot. And you owe your kids your best shot. They're their best shot. So I think it comes back down to that. I mean, and I just don't understand. You can't look at what they say and look at what they do and be okay with that.
Right.
Because they're going to tell you we're going to do this and that, but then you see all these other people they keep taking care of ahead of us. So why even give them anything? They've given us nothing in return. Why do we keep giving them? And then if somebody comes along and says, hey, they're abusing you. It's an abusive relationship. Right. Hey, I'm here to save you from this fool beating your ass every day. No, leaving us my fault. Because I made him do it. I know he doesn't like his toast like that. It's my fault. You know what I mean? But we're like, no, they're terrible. They're awful. They're keeping you in a level of servitude mentally. Yeah. No, that's my man. That's my boo. You don't understand. So then we're the ones who are insert all the stupid ass names people tell you.
Everything online, they call us.
Never to your face. So I asked my brother. My brother and I are on opposite sides of the aisle on a lot of things. But my brother served in 2 branches of the military, so he got some conservative in there somewhere. We came from the same stock, so he has some redeeming qualities. We don't agree on a lot of things. And he's traveled to damn near every country this world has to offer. I think he's been to over 100 of them.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, how? First, he told me the story about he was doing substitute teaching in Georgia where he lives. And this little 8-year-old African kid, this Nigerian kid, the other kids are playing basketball. And he's sitting there with a piece of paper, writing things down, watching these kids. And he comes up to the kid and he says, how come you're not out there playing with the other kids? He said, I'm studying my opponent's strategy. So that's the mentality that these people come here with. Of course, not all immigrants, not all legal immigrants are hardworking do-gooders. They bring some turds in too. But I asked him, because it's a color thing, right? It's all about color, color, people of color. Yeah. So how can people who are darker than us come here and rocket right past us? You got this 8-year-old studying his opponent's movements. You know what I'm saying? He said, The reason those people can come here from nothing, from keeping your valuables in a plastic bottle because it's airtight, so when the rains come, they don't get wet. Like this is what these people are dealing with. Where people that live on Lake Victoria, once a year flies mate, and they gather the flies and make fly cakes, and the kids are happy to eat there. Okay, that's what these people are coming from to here. So how can they come here and in 20 minutes, they own the store that I'm spending my money in? He says the reason they can do that is because they don't care. They don't care about what you look like. They don't care about labels. They don't care about what white people think of them and will white people accept me. They build a restaurant next to the white people. They don't care about what scraps they're going to throw them. They create their own. They come in with a vision. They achieve that vision. They pass that vision on to their kids. So I don't know what it's going to take for us to snap out of this, this ghetto mentality. And ghetto is not just a location. That's a mindset.
Mindset, right.
In the hood and not be hood. It's a mindset. But if you're constantly harassing and admonishing people who are trying to do good, who don't talk like they dropped out of school in the second grade, as long as you're beating them up verbally, sometimes physically, and you're downplaying that type of person who wants to do better, I don't know if we can, because they have the agents in your home that are beating you down, telling you, why are you reading? Why are you studying? Why you go to school? Why you talk like that? That's beating you down. And then they're in your home. They're your family. They're your friends. They got the agents on your team beating you down mentally before you even get started. So until we break that, until we repair the family, man, I don't know. I don't know if we can. And it sucks to say that and to see other groups, because the most successful people financially in this country are Asians, and they have an out of wedlock birth rate of 17%.
Right.
Ours is at 70.
Right.
It's not a coincidence.
Nope, it's not.
Until we repair that family.
Right. Yeah, it's so easy to see like the reasons why we're in the position that we're in now. And it has everything to do with the family structure. It has everything to do with the fact that fathers are not in the home. It has everything to do with the fact that single mothers are raising these boys, right? Raising these boys, raising these girls. And I was looking at Tim Pool's YouTube channel one day, and I saw this video that he did, and it was very striking to me because he went over these stats, or it wasn't a stat, it was polls that he went over. And it was basically showing like support for BLM, showing support for Joe Biden, showing support for the Democrat Party, showing support for giving amnesty to illegal aliens, like all those things. And overwhelmingly, women supported all those things. So all these Democrat policies that we're seeing are controlled by women. These are things that women want. So the fact that we're in the position that we're in right now is due to the fact that women are basically in control of our country right now. And they, of course, they lead with their emotions. They think with their emotions. So a lot of these policies are emotionally driven. You know, when you want to be nice, you want to be caring, you want to be compassionate. That's something that women think of a lot. So when you're talking about, yeah, we want to let people into the country because we should have all this space, and these people are fleeing from hardship. So why not let them come to this great country of the United States of America? But as men, we think logically. We know resources are finite. So it's not like we can just let any and everybody into the country. We know that we built this country for American citizens. And if you want to be here, there are things that you have to do in order to join our team, right? But that's not how women think. So a lot of these policies are run by women. And then when you see the out of wedlock birth rate for the Black community, you see a lot of these women are raising our Black boys and girls to think emotionally, to think to where, like, if you get into some kind of beef, you don't think logically about it. You think your knee-jerk reaction is to just react to it, right? Because women know that when they react to stuff, they'll always have some man to pick up the slack, right? It's all about that accountability piece. And I think that that's something that we need to see more of in the Black community, is just accountability, and bringing the fathers back in the home is the only way to do that.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. Because if you have these boys around all this feminine energy, if you soak a piece of meat in red wine overnight, what's it going to taste like? It'll taste like red wine. So
Right.
if you marinate these boys in estrogen and feminine energy and feminine ways of dealing with things, you're going to have a woman in a man's body. So when this kid goes off like a powder keg, it's not going to be like a girl, because he's a boy. He has boy strength or man strength.
Yeah.
And it's going to get bad really quick. But that's what has to be repaired, because that's the roots of this whole plant, this whole society, is the family. And the father has to be in there to make that a complete family. And then the people who are the women who need to choose better men, it's almost like the pool they're choosing from has been poisoned by other women. These are bad men to choose.
Yeah.
So these boys grow up around mama down talking to dad and all this kind of stuff, and he ain't, we don't need him, blah, blah, blah. So he's thinking, well, I don't want to be in that situation, so I'm not going to be around. So it's nothing for him to drop 3, 4, 5 babies and be out. And they seem to be okay with that, man. But that has to change. It really does, because that's a great point. Because that's how women are. When you see somebody that needs something, this wounded, hurt thing,
right?
That's where women get the woman. That's what they do. They're the yin to our yang.
That's where they shine. Yeah.
We're the hammer and they're the scalpel. You know what I mean? They see those small things. They connect to that. They have we've heard women say a lot, oh, I can fix him. They get some stupid, sorry dude, I can fix him. No, you can't. Right. But they're blinded by their emotions. And so when we had Trump come in, who was a man who was like, man, whoa, hold up. What are we spinning on? Who's coming in here? The Iran deal, the Paris Accord, what the hell's going on here? So we came in, it was like, what? Hell no. We need to, no. We need to hit reset. You, China, Russia, Korea, all you fools, sit down. We need to rethink things, and we need to let you know, as a new sheriff in town, I don't know what
was like daddy coming home.
I don't know what Michelle Obama was telling you. But no, we're in charge. America's in charge. It's better for the world. Say something. And what did they say? Nothing. But all the mainstream mediocres, oh, World War III, you can't talk to Kim Jong-un like that. Why? What's he going to do?
Right.
And of course, we don't want it to come to that, but that's the message you need to put out. That's the vibe you need to put out. Sometimes you got to raise your leg on a tree. So when the other dogs come by, oh, this is America's. We better keep going down the road. This is theirs. They're the lead dog. Because when we're in charge, the world is a better place. And I don't mean us having our hands in everybody's cookie jar around the world, but when it's understood that America is in charge, that's what's up. It's safer for everybody. Who do they call? When your little country has an earthquake and you got 2,000 people pinned under the rubble, who's out there with golden retrievers with red crosses on their little vest? Who's American people, hashtag blah, 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 send $10 to so-and-so. We are. We're the most generous nation this world has ever seen. So not only do we got to do this for us, but you got the world, some countries in the world looking like America. Hey, come on, please fight this, conquer this. Don't go down. Don't let China take charge. Because once you give up that spot, it's hard to get it back. And that can happen, unfortunately, through irreparable damage to us. Because in order for it to get that bad, it's got to get real bad for us before it gets bad for the rest of the world, man. But we need to hit reset. We need to get this old man out of office. You've seen the pictures of Kamala walking in front of him?
I didn't see that, but that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. Like, just a weak,
the rest of the world
he's a weak
sees man.
That. Yeah.
What woman's walking in front
who's
of
in charge? Nobody. Oh no, that would never happen.
Man, unless she's throwing rose petals down.
Right, I know.
She ain't walking in front of Putin. Period.
Yep. Man.
And that's not sexist or chauvinist or whatever. That's how the world works. That's how a lot of these world leaders, these old countries, these are very old countries. We're the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
That's what they understand. They understand bravado. They understand alpha energy. And when you got Obama in there with Hillary Clinton as a head of state, and you got Biden back there in second in command, the world's laughing. That's why the Taliban's riding around at $85 billion worth of swag right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what happens when you put diversity over anything. Like, we should just be looking for the best people for the job. But the Democrats, they want to make sure they have representation in our government. And it's just sad. It's pathetic. Like, I don't really care about that. If you want more Black people in certain positions of power, then you need to train those Black people up to be people that can represent those positions of power, instead of just saying, yeah, let's look for some Black people that we can put in these positions so it makes us look good.
And real quick, man, before I lose this thought, in order for us to be represented, government, entertainment, whatever, all these things these people cry about.
Yeah.
First, we got to make more Black people.
Yeah.
We got to make more. We've been 12 to 14% of the population since I was a kid. 40,
That's
at
true.
least 40 years.
That's true.
You got everybody else passing us up. We've been here the longest, 400 years, right?
Right.
We've been here the longest, yet we plateaued at 13, 14% of the population. That's because, Black women, they're 6, 7% of the population-ish?
Yep.
They account for a third, over 300,000 abortions a year.
Yep.
So ever since 1973, there's been over 20 million of us aborted. So you add that 20 million to the 42 million we have now, that's 62 million.
Yeah.
That's more of us. That's more.
Yep.
We can't help but have more representation if there's more of us in the country, because there's more of us. So you will see that in politics, local, federal, state, entertainment, business ownership. You would have all those things. But instead, we have places where it's a 50-50 shot for a Black kid to be born. And if you are born, you're born into a war zone. They polled kids in war-torn countries, and they got a better outlook on life than a kid in Baltimore. So when we're killing ourselves before we get here, and if you happen to make it past the doctors, you're probably going to get shot, because if you make it to 18, that's some kind of achievement. We're proud of you. We're celebrating you coming home from prison, but not throwing a cap in the air. So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to stay at 13%. We're not going to get that representation. And every 4 years, they're just going to spin the ball again. And here we are. Meanwhile, everybody else is having babies left and right, representing themselves, having themselves represented, and all these things that we seem to cry about. And the worst part about it is we have the solution in our hands. We just don't want to use it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. We have a solution. We're in America. We're already ahead of everybody else. What other country would you rather be Black in? Somebody please tell me. What other country is going to say you get a phone call? What other country is going to have people picketing outside the jail that you didn't even ask for to come represent you? Any benevolent legal firms in Zimbabwe willing to take your case? No. You're just gone. You're in a mine somewhere. Now you're walking up and down a hill 50 times a day with a basket full of lime rock on your head. Man, what the hell is wrong with these people?
Yeah, what country in the world can Black people just go out and protest about this fictitious racism that they keep seeing, and then have all these white people come out and protest with them?
Falling over themselves to show you how down they are. I've seen footage
and how we support
white people washing Black people's feet.
I've seen that
protests.
Too. I've seen that too.
Not only what kind of beta fool are you to get down on your hands and knees and wash another person's feet that you're not married to or related to, but who are you to sit down and allow somebody to do that? Like, are you in
what complex do you have?
Yeah, the rabbit has
the gun.
You're
a king.
Like, what are you talking about, man? Get away from me. I don't even like that kind of, that's weird.
Right.
But hey, that's That's what they do, man. But please, and you can tell me your Swedens and your Canadas and your Englands and all that who only got like 14 black people in them.
Right.
But you tell me another country where you'd rather be black in, please.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll wait. I won't hold my breath though.
Yeah. But you know, everybody always talks about, we don't want to be here. We don't want to be here. We want to move back to Africa. Have you seen any black people moving back to Africa? Have you seen any celebrities, black celebrities, millionaires, billionaires moving back to Africa because America is so horrible? Have you seen it?
Yeah, go ahead and move your rich behind back there to them countries and see what happens. Go ahead and roll your lime green Lamborghini down their main street and see what happens.
I would love to see it, but we're never going to see it because they're not going anywhere.
They're just talking.
They know how good they have it here. They know how lovely this country is.
China will send out a tweet saying, you can't say this in your movies now. And guess what? Yep. You can't say that in your movies now. You guys are getting too soft with the male characters. Change it. And guess what you got to do? You better change it. You don't want to be headless somewhere, do you? You better change it. But not here.
No, indeed.
Here, these people are bending over backward. Who was it? Christine something. She was Oprah's spiritual advisor. And when she was running, she was in some, I don't know if it was a church or what. And she was like, black people, if you want to participate in this, please stand up. So they stand up. And these people, white people, repeat after me. I wish I was in that room. I would start laughing so loud. What in the hell are you talking about? But they repeat after me, I am sorry, I am sorry. And there are black people standing up allowing this. I'd be like, be quiet. You're making it weird. You're making it awkward in here. What the hell?
You know what I call that? That's black supremacy.
Yep.
That's all it is. That's a complex that a lot of black people have where they feel like, well, because of slavery and Jim Crow and all this stuff that happened years ago, we have to feel like now we're superior to white people. And that's not how you get equality. That's not equality at all. Like, if you want to have equality, we have to forget about what happened in the past and just live for today. Live in a moment, because we have all the opportunities we could ever dream of in this country, and just take advantage of them and treat everybody like you would want to be treated. That's it.
Yeah. I work with this woman. She's from Nepal. And she told me, she said, I didn't have ice cream until I was 18.
Wow.
I said, what? She said she didn't watch TV until she came to America. Her parents had a really nice oil painting, and they would sit there and stare at that.
Wow.
In America, we have a TV in every room.
Yep.
Ice cream is part of your birthday party.
Yeah.
What do they say at every birthday party? Who wants cake?
Cake and ice cream. Yeah. A lot of houses keep it stocked in the fridge.
Yeah. There's ice cream. There's a Baskin Robbins. All they do is ice cream.
Yep.
And she didn't taste it until she was an adult.
Jeez.
That's how good we got it.
I know.
If you show up to a birthday party and there's no ice cream, as an adult, you're going to be like, man, this party sucks. Yeah. How do you not have no ice cream at a birthday party?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in a position where we have to be retaught how to appreciate this. We just need to appreciate it now while we got it. Then the fact that we got it, we have, and again, I'm not into this. America has so much abundance and we should somehow shame ourselves for that because we ain't willing to give it up. So kill that noise, but respect it and enjoy it and realize how good you have it. There are people right now today who would kill to be poor here. They would kill to be homeless.
I know.
They just want to get in the building. Can I just get in the building? Just give me that little corner, that dark corner in the basement with the leaky pipes and the mildew. Just let me get in the building.
Yeah, these people come here with nothing.
Less than nothing, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Don't speak the language Ain't got no money, no people, no nothing. But they know
And they
once
end
I
up getting
step
rich
foot
too.
here, all you gotta do is work hard and be dedicated.
That's it. Black
That's
people. That's all you have to do. Work hard, be dedicated, and you can have whatever you want. You can achieve the American dream. It's for everyone. It doesn't matter what your race is. It's for everyone. You can achieve the American dream. Just work hard. That's it.
If you're an asset, nobody's going to let you go or deny you because of the color of your skin.
Yep.
If you're an asset to that company, to that business, you're making them money, you're saving them money, you're someone they can depend on. Before I started the radio station, I used to do landscaping for this Japanese dude. And we started off, he didn't know me. I met him through a friend of mine. This is our first time meeting each other. And at first, he was kind of on me, kind of standing over me, making sure I did it right. Once he realized I was an asset and I was punctual and I worked hard and I did what he told me to do, and I realized my place that I'm working for his business. So I'm not going to be like, hey, man, with an attitude. No. If I don't like it, I can dip. But once he realized that's the kind of person I was, 3 times a week, I'm not coming in. Go ahead and knock out the houses. Here's the keys to the truck. You know what to do. Because I was an asset. It wasn't, no, you're black, so I'm going to have to stick with you all day. No, he realized this dude is making me money. He treats my equipment with respect, treats me with respect, and he's here when I need him to be. Period. No problems.
That's it.
So if you present yourself as an asset, there's only one color that really matters. They can talk what they want to. They can be as woke as they want to. But if those dollars are coming in, if those dead presidents are coming in, you better get your black whatever behind over here and get this money. Period.
Get this money. Get this money. Yep. Nice. All right, man. So, we'll go ahead and end it here. Any last words for the people?
Man, just keep your eyes open. Don't listen to all these people telling you need to do this, you need to do that. No, if you know it's right, stick with it. There's a lot of dummies out there. All you got to do is Google a picture of the women's march from LA from 2 years ago. There's a lot of dummies in the world. Don't listen to them. You know what's right. And when your spider sense goes off, listen to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Why don't you go ahead and plug your merch and your channel and different things like that, whatever you want to
plug. YouTube, Jericho Green, Instagram @JG Talk, JerichoGreen.net. I put all my videos there first before they go on to YouTube. $3.99 monthly sub. I got some things in the work. I got exclusive merch coming out. I got my merch, the links in the link tree, hats, beanies, t-shirts, mugs, phone covers, you name it. I got it. Go buy it. That's it. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, it was a pleasure talking to you. Man, you're one of my favorite YouTubers, so it's a dream come true to have you on the channel, man. Really is.
Hey, man.
I started watching you when I first became a conservative, so this is really cool.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. And ever since we had that live stream, with B Tatum and ABL, man, those are my favorite streams, the one that you're on, man. So, hey, like I said, if you people aren't following this man on Instagram, you're missing something in your life, for real. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So this is the Right Winged Angel. Oh, but before I go, let me plug my stuff. So you can follow me on Instagram @the Right Winged Angel. I'm on Facebook, just search Right Winged Angel. I'm on Twitter, just search Right Winged Angel or Oliver Mack. And I also have merch. You'll see that in the description. This shirt is one of my merch. It says oppressed. It is a state of mind, not a state of being. So if you want to grab that shirt or some other cool merch that I have, it's going to be in the description. And we will catch you guys on the next one. And we're out. Peace.